Could the Mario and Luigi series be making a comeback? Let's discuss this latest rumor right now.
I got hot sauce in my bag.
Hello there, beautiful human. My name is RidersDX and welcome to my channel, where today we're going to be discussing a Mario rumor, which is something I'm really excited about because I really do want to get into Mario content more on this channel. I think Mario is obviously such an iconic franchise and a franchise I love, and so this little news tidbit is very interesting to me because this is a spin-off franchise within the Mario series that is well beloved, and there's actually a lot of concern that the series is basically dead due to its parent company that typically makes its games basically being defunct. But fear not, because there is a potential for a brand new game to be coming out within the next year or so. Hot off the presses, this is a rumor being spread by a notable leaker within the Nintendo community, and I'm not joking with this username. It's Hot Girl Videos 69. Otherwise known as Tiffany Treadmore Incorporated. Yep, this is an actual leaker. I looked it up and everything. This is someone that regularly leaks stuff about Nintendo. And so the rumor that they have listed here is that the Mario and Luigi IP will be due late 2021/early 2022 for the new Nintendo Switch Advance. Existing Mario and Luigi properties for Nintendo DS are tentatively available for Nintendo Switch Online in 2021 of June. So this is pretty awesome news. We're not just hearing about a brand new Mario and Luigi game, but we're hearing about a potential new Nintendo Switch, and also the fact that older Mario and Luigi games may become available on Nintendo Switch Online, which is all really great news. As someone who's never played a Mario and Luigi game, this would be an awesome opportunity for me to finally get into the franchise. I'm a big Paper Mario guy, and so I feel like it's only a matter of time before I finally try out a Mario and Luigi game. It's just a little bit difficult for me to get my hands on one of the games at the moment because I don't own a DS, I don't own a 3DS, I don't own a Game Boy Advance, so I'm kind of just like, well, I need to get that first before I can play it. So with time. But obviously this is not a legitimate announcement. This is just a rumor / a leak. And so can we believe this leak? Like, who is this person and are they credible? And so I did a little digging. I didn't go too deep into this, so I might have missed something, but there is this one article that they actually listed. I brought it up just to see, is it something that was just gonna blow the gas to the account and make it seem like someone who knows everything, or is it an article that fairly judges who this person is and tries to weigh the evidence in terms of whether or not they're a legit person that can leak stuff. And so what I found in this article is that there was one prediction that this person did make right, and that was the cancellation of E3 2020. On March 5, Hot Girl Video 69 made another bold prediction. E3 2020 would be cancelled. This came a week before the official news was handed down, but the same day the creative outlet I Am 8-Bit announced it would no longer collaborate on playing the event. That day was the first time various sources began telling me cancelling E3 might be on the table, but the emergency meeting that would decide E3's fate would not happen for another 4 days. Only days later, E3 was cancelled and Hot Girl Videos 69 was showered with praise by fans eager for someone to leak them information, and even acknowledged by the industry itself. And so here's what I think about this. While it was impressive that this person did leak this information before there was any sign that E3 2020 was cancelled, I feel like it's also something that you could have accurately guessed around that time, because around that time the pandemic was really starting to rise and we were seeing so many things left and right getting closed. I do think it's not a far stretch to think that the person might have just guessed that E3 2020 was going to get cancelled, and so I'm not entirely convinced that this person is legit yet, though it is possible. There was another prediction that this person made, however, and here is what it was. The prediction was bold. Just a week after the release of Animal Crossing New Horizons, more or less exhausting the games Nintendo has announced for release, there would be a major Nintendo Direct where the company would show a trailer for The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild 2, and perhaps more importantly, a teaser for a secret Metroid game. When I first spoke to this person, they were a little nervous. The Nintendo Direct proclamation on March 16 had promised the Nintendo Direct would happen next week. Next week had arrived and there was no indication anything was going to happen. The biggest red flag was Nintendo's silence. They tend to promote their upcoming events, and one with news about Breath of the Wild 2 and Metroid would seem like one to start teasing. And so, as you all may or may not know, this ended up not happening. We still don't know that much about Breath of the Wild 2, and we've seen nothing about a brand new Metroid game, although I do think that that, we do know that it's in development. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure it was like in development for a long time and then it got restarted, and so we don't really know what's going on with the game at the moment. But anyway, this was a prediction that was a lot bigger in my opinion than just saying that E3 2020 was canceled, and this person got it wrong. And so does this mean that this leaker is unreliable? Well, the answer is not as simple as you might think. You see, we've had lots of leaks about Nintendo this past year, obviously. We all remember what that Nintendo Direct drought was like throughout the entire year, and how people kept saying that a Direct was happening and it just didn't happen. But I think it's because this year has been so crazy that so many things have been changing left and right, that it was not just this person that got it wrong. We had tons of people that we trusted got leaks wrong. And so I think it's perfectly possible that maybe this was true, but it had been canceled because the pandemic made it pretty clear that this was not going to get done in the time that they wanted it to get done. Maybe Breath of the Wild 2 was meant to come out either later this year or early next year, but it obviously isn't now because the pandemic slowed everything down. And so, as the article states, if the event had been canceled, it's unlikely the company would have issued a statement about it, meaning Grub and Hot Grill Video 69 could both have passed on correct information that over time became incorrect. Even if that were true, it's likely the internet would not have been forgiving and they'd begin to search for another prophet. There is always another. And so, to conclude, I really don't think there's a strong reason to believe this person yet. If there's another leak that this person is known for that they got right, then please let me know in the comment section below. But from what I could tell in my very brief Google search, there wasn't anything I could really pinpoint down. Truth be told, I still don't feel confident in saying that a new Mario and Luigi game is coming. I would love it because I think Mario RPGs, at least on the Paper Mario side, are great. I would love to get the chance to play more Mario and Luigi games because those games aren't the easiest to get the hands on. I mean, you could emulate them, but I try to avoid emulation as much as I can. I much prefer buying the actual game and playing it like it is, and so I try to avoid at all costs unless it's a game that I already own and it's just easier to emulate it that way, you know, for like streaming purposes for instance, but that's just me. And so I guess in my eyes, I can't say I believe this rumor at the moment. However, I am hopeful that maybe Nintendo is thinking about doing something Mario and Luigi related, but there's also a couple things with this rumor that just don't make it seem realistic. I mean, the fact that they got the name of the new Nintendo Switch is kind of interesting. I don't know if I believe that Nintendo would call it Nintendo Switch Advance. I also really do not believe that Nintendo would make the old Mario and Luigi games available to buy on Nintendo Switch Online. Like, I know that they're starting to port more Mario games onto the Nintendo Switch Online, but Nintendo is notoriously horrible for making their old games available on new consoles. I mean, the fact that we got 3D All-Stars is a miracle in my opinion because, like I said, like ports never happen unless they're from like the Wii U and Nintendo is able to charge normal price for it. They just don't see the value of bringing old games back, and so why would they decide to bring old Mario and Luigi games over so many other games they could be bringing back? Like, it just doesn't make sense to me. If they did value bringing old games back, then the virtual console would still be a thing. That's my opinion. But let me know your opinion in the comment section below. I'd be really curious to hear your thoughts. One more thing before we close out this video though. I do want to play a Mario and Luigi game eventually, and so I think I am going to look into trying to play one in the next year or so. What Mario and Luigi game should I start with? Should I start with the very first one? Is there like a successive storyline between them? I kind of don't think it is, but you never know. Or could I start with like any one? And if so, is there one in particular I should start with? Should I play the remake or should I play the originals? I would love to hear your thoughts. And also let me know in the comment section below if you believe this rumor or if you think it's fake. Let me know why or why not, and yeah, let's just have a great discussion about this. Either way, I hope this does stir interest and Nintendo does realize that people do want more Mario and Luigi games. So if this isn't something that's happening, then hopefully it is something that happens in the future. But alright, that's pretty much everything I had to say. Thank you so much for watching this video. Special shout out to the Nerd Corner, Killer Lemurs, Team Ride with Science Gamers, Johnny Hinton Ortiz, Trash Q, Abraham Muner, and Mass Muner. These are my patrons / YouTube members. If you'd like to become a patron or YouTube member and get access to a whole bunch of different perks, then please check out the links in the description box below. But alright, this is Riders, riding out.